In tonight's WGN Investigates, an update to our series Hidden Homicide. A North Suburban mother's death was ruled a suicide, but a growing number of people are now questioning that finding. The night of September 25th, 1996, Marianne Hayes was found dead in her bedroom in Northfield. Larry Potash reports on what came next.
Initially, police found her death to be suspicious, but it was not ruled a homicide. Since then, a team of experts has reviewed her case, and those experts say the evidence shows Marianne Hayes was in fact killed. We've talked to more experts and investigators who say this case deserves another look. Months after Marianne Hayes was found dead, authorities ruled the suburban mother died of self-strangulation using a household extension cord.
That to me was the most striking aspect of that evening, was how we found her.
As time passed, Robin Altman, Hayes' oldest daughter, began questioning her mother's death. She contacted Alliance for Hope International, a nonprofit founded by two former California prosecutors. The group investigates suspicious deaths nationwide.
Well, the beginning of the Marianne Hayes case was us finding out that she had allegedly strangled herself to death, and we are the national experts in strangulation assaults.
But it's that same physiologic criteria. So what's happening?
Alliance and its forensic expert, Dr. Bill Smock, spent months looking into Hayes' death.
What caught my eye with this particular case is that when I looked at the photographs from the crime scene, looked at the autopsy photographs, said this is inconsistent with a suicidal scene, a suicidal death. This is a homicide.
Altman and Alliance have called on the Cook County Medical Examiner to change the ruling in Hayes' death to homicide, in part because they say there was no evidence of a knot or locking mechanism on the cord.
I think everybody immediately sees, where's the knot? How are you going to continue to apply continuous pressure? Because that's what you need in order for someone to die.
Alliance is not alone. Since our stories aired, we've heard from other experts who agree that Hayes' death is suspicious and should be reviewed by an outside independent agency.
Certainly this case has a lot of red flags from, really, I think, from the scene handling to the law enforcement investigation to the interpretation of the autopsy findings and injury findings.
Dr. Megan Quinn is an independent forensic pathologist. In her report on Hayes' death, Dr. Quinn writes, there are numerous findings that raise serious concerns this woman's death was homicidal and staged to look like a suicide.
It is simply illogical to conclude that someone would die from having an electrical cord wrapped around their neck that is not exerting pressure.
And then there's the unexplained injuries to Hayes' throat, separate and apart from the ligature mark, and noted in the original autopsy.
I've never seen those injuries in a self-strangulation case.
I have a lot of questions.
Matt Coney is a former Illinois State Police detective. In 2018, he fielded a call from Altman asking if he would investigate her mother's death. What were your concerns?
The same as theirs, that this was something more than just your typical suicide.
Coney said state police policy at the time was to refer people back to the investigating agency, in this case, Northfield Police.
If the law enforcement agency formally requests the assistance of the Illinois State Police would get involved.
Northfield Police did not make that request, and state police did not investigate. But Coney says the questions surrounding Hayes' death deserve a closer look.
Have you ever in your career come across a strangulation a self-strangulation that didn't have a locking mechanism, leverage, or a knot?
I have not. Found it concerning and troubling that there was never any answers to those injuries.
As of this morning,
Dr. Pani Arunkumar is Cook County's chief medical examiner. She reviewed the Hayes case in 2018 after Altman urged authorities to reopen it. At the time, she declined to change the ruling to homicide, in part because she told police she found a similar case of self-strangulation. WGN Investigates has asked Dr. Arunkumar's office multiple times for the name of that other case. But despite saying one existed, she has never given us a name.
When there have been mistakes made, those mistakes should be righted. Those wrongs should be righted. Those mistakes should be fixed.
After our series aired, Altman again asked Northfield to reopen the case, but that agency declined to do so. Police officials there had no immediate comment.